One, what did you guys get?
Did it turn on? Are we on air?
Yeah, we're live.
Yes, we're live.
Okay, it just hasn't turned on mine. Okay. We're good.
I got D.
I also got D.
I got C. I had D and then I changed it to C.
Why?
I don't know anymore.
What's a double coincidence?
Wasn't the double coincidence that someone had something that another person wanted?
Yeah.
So, like,
Alan and Eric, do they have something that the other one wants?
Actually,
not
yes.
just them. Well, like Alan has something that Deidre wants.
Yeah.
And then
That's not what it's asking, right?
yeah, I didn't know if the
Well, Eric has something that Alan wants, actually, now that I'm looking at it a second time. Eric has barbecue ribs. Alan wants barbecue ribs.
That is the matching, isn't it?
Yeah.
You know, barbecue ribs sound really good right now.
And DJ bakes bread and Calvin wants bread. So the answer would actually be C.
So I did C, yeah.
Yeah, but I thought it would be both of them want something because Eric wants dry cleaning and Alan doesn't offer dry cleaning. Right? Because double coincidence is that they both want what the other one has. Because it's a coincidence to do one, but it's a double coincidence to have both of them want what the other one is offering.
I want to double check that, but I think you're right.
That makes sense.
Let me go to the book. Coincidence.
It's in the chapter intro.
In such an economy, trade is said to require the double coincidence of ones. The unlikely occurrence of that two people each have a good or service that the other wants.
Okay, so yeah, that would. All right, so it is.
Right. That's
none of them do.
That's my understanding.
Okay, yeah, that's what I had before, and then I psyched myself out and was like, maybe that's not it.
So can somebody explain to me what I just read?
Okay. D.
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 So it just means that, you know, there's a coincidence that Eric wants what Alan has. I mean, that happens all the time, but the double coincidence is that both
have what each other
Alan
wants.
and Eric are going to trade for the same thing. So, does that make sense, Thomas?
Yes.
Okay, so for 2, I got B as in boy.
Yep, the B.
So did I.
Number 2?
Yes.
I also got B.
Okay. All right, 3, I got A.
Yep.
Same.
Okay. 4, I got B as in boy again.
Yep.
Same.
You guys realize the first 3 answers spell out bad.
I do if you mix it up. Huh? And number 4, I got B. Is that what we just did?
Yep.
5?
Yeah.
5, I got A.
Yep.
I got A.
Yep. We're switching between the 2.
6, I got C.
Oh, for 5, what was it?
C.
A.
5 was A.
Oh. Yeah.
Huh.
Number 5, we got A. Number 6, it sounds like we got C.
Yep.
Okay, I got confused with both of them.
Are you good with A on 5?
Yes, sir. Yes, ma'am. Sorry. Sorry.
Number 7, I got B as in boy.
I got B.
Yep.
8, I got A.
A.
Yep. Switching between the 2.
9, I got B.
B.
Yep. So somebody got D?
B.
Okay.
Calling out ABBA.
Okay, and then on 10, I got C.
Is missing.
Yep.
C?
Yes. 11, I got C.
I got C as well.
On this one, can you guys explain how you got that number?
On 11? So the reserve is what the bank's required to keep. So 2,000 would be the reserve. So that is 25% or 1/4 of the $8,000. So 25%.
Oh.
The 6,000 is what they loaned out.
You got 2 minutes.
That's 75%.
Yeah, the part I did get the part of the difference, but I couldn't figure out the reserve requirement. I couldn't understand where that came from.
I think that the fact that they loaned out 6,000 is what they're going off of. Just very simple.
Yeah, because I just went with a gut feeling and just selected 25, but it was just a feeling. I didn't have any basis.
Right. All right. So for 12, I got B.
B.
Yeah.
Okay. 13, I did not get this one.
I got B.
I got B.
Okay, will you explain it to me?
So
go ahead, Jonathan.
It's always B.
Okay, just trying to.
8% equals. I mean, 6,000 equals 8%. So then the idea is to figure out how much is 100%.
So how do you do that?
Okay, then on a piece of paper. Sorry, 6,000.
I'm totally having a brain fart on this one.
6,000 equals 8%. X equals 100%. So the X equals 6,000 times 100 divided by 8. And if I get my handy dandy calculator, 6,000, one more zero, times 100 divided by 8. The answer is 75,000.
Okay. All right.
So you know how we're supposed to convert the reserve ratio into a fraction, and then
Correct.
we basically flip.
I got 2/25.
Wait, what?
Is that what you got?
For what?
So you're supposed to convert the 8% into a fraction, right? Or a.
Pretty much.
So what did you get when you did that?
I got 12.5.
Okay.
I just took a. Go ahead.
Right.
Okay, hold on. I'm confused. Are we on 13 or are we on 14?
We're still on 13. We're trying to help somebody understand what the heck is going on.
Okay, okay.
Okay. Okay. So see, I got the 2/25, but since it wasn't a 1, I was like, it totally threw me. So that makes total sense, though. Okay.
Did I take the right approach?
Yeah, you're fine.
Okay.
Yeah. Either way, I think worked. Okay, so for 14, I got B.
I got B
I
as
also
well.
got B.
Good, because I didn't answer this one.
Okay, 15.
Always B.
It's always B.
I got A for 15.
Yep, A.
Okay, 16.
Also
A.
A. 17.
A.
I got A also.
I propose we skip 18, do 19, 20 really quick, and then we can spend half an hour on 18.
Okay.
That would be wonderful.
19. I got B.
Also B.
And then 20. I got D.
Also got D.
D.
I'm feeling really good about.
I didn't answer 20, so I'll go with you guys with 20.
Okay, so 18. Who got 18?
Prepare to spend a half
but
hour
this
sitting here
was
doing questions.
the lesson that I did 2 weeks ago, and my internet was being weird, so I couldn't go over my questions before this, so I don't know how I got it. But the answer is B. From what I got 2 weeks ago.
Okay. Well, I'd like to know how to do it.
Right.
Yeah, same.
Let's figure out how to do it. I mean, I'll put B because I got nothing else to go on, but I'd like to understand the logic. Okay. So somewhere in the book it describes this. I don't remember where, but I think that would be a good place to start. Figure out where in the book it talks about the Fed changing the money supply.
Okay, let me find it. Supply. 16-3 or 16-4. I think it's 16-3.
It's one of the last questions. I feel like it would be near the end.
Okay, the Fed's second and more important job is to control the quantity of money that is made available in the economy, called the money supply. Decisions by policymakers concerning the money supply constitute monetary policy. That didn't answer the question.
Okay, so the central bank, the Bank of Tazi, is loaning all the other banks some money. So we got to figure out where in the book it talks about what happens when the central bank loans money to other banks.
If you want to teach it, you can totally go ahead.
Okay, so I found something in 16-4A that is literally titled Fed lending to banks. I'm assuming that's where we find our answer.
Okay. Money multiply? No. Nope. The Fed's fools. No, tools.
It's talking about a discount rate, but this doesn't say anything about a discount rate. We might need to go back to previous sections in the book.
Do you think it's on the slide that has this example?
I haven't looked at the slideshow, but that would probably be a good place to check. Does anybody know how much the banks of Tazi are, what the percentages that their reserves are?
Well, they have 300 million in reserves but there's no.
Well, that's the required reserves, but they also have excess reserves. Do we include that?
No, I wouldn't.
Are you sure? Because it asks, suppose also that both the reserve requirement and the percentage of deposits held as excess reserves stays the same.
I agree with you. you would include it?
So the total amount of TASs, this is including the deposits, the reserves, the treasury bonds. That's 607.5 million TASs. I did that math, but
There be light.
Now the percentage of reserves, I haven't figured that out yet, but
We did it.
What is one?
I think you need to update it. The software is a little.
I even tried to watch the videos, and I don't think they really covered this.
They didn't go over this in the videos.
No.
You know how your phone gets really slow because it needs to update the software.
okay, I think I figured out the percentage of reserves.
How?
I took the number of reserves that they have, 375 million, and divided it by their total reserves, 607.5 million.
She still doesn't speak to me.
I can show you a screenshot if you want, because I'm doing the math on Excel, so you can see what I'm doing.
Yeah, screenshot would be good.
All right, how do I do a screenshot?
It's on your left-hand side. It's
Yeah.
a green little.
The green square with
Green
the
share.
arrow.
Okay.
She was distracting me from the
Yes, I would like to share my screen.
And here she is, the semester.
There it goes.
Okay.
Distracting me from a
All right, there we go.
So cute.
Okay, so number 18, right here, this is where I'm doing the problem. So this right here is when I added up all the money supplies. So you can see I added up the required reserves, the excess reserves. Here, let me switch it to the problem so you can see the problem over here.
Yeah.
Added the treasury reserves and the deposits or the loans. And I ended up getting this number right here. For this one, I took the total number that's in reserve and divided it by the total number of TASs and end up with this funky percentage right here.
61.
Yeah,
Or 62 if you round
if
up.
you're rounding it.
Yeah.
So yeah, that's what I got so far. I don't really know what to do with that, but I think we'll need both of those. Wasn't there a problem? Oh, sorry.
Well, we can safely say that D isn't the answer, can't we? So we can just knock it down to 3 answers.
Well,
And we already say we think it's B?
We said we think it's B, but we want to learn how to do this because they're gonna.
No, yeah, of course. Looking at. Oh,
I didn't make it this far, so.
Well, we can. We're trying to figure it out right now. Like nobody. Well, one person had an answer to it, but they don't know how to. They got the answer, so we're just trying to figure out how to do this.
I'm gonna scroll through the homework. Did anyone do the homework?
Not yet.
Not yet.
Not yet.
Okay, I'm gonna scroll through that real quick and see if it's got any similar problems.
Has anybody looked through the PowerPoint while we've been talking?
Yeah, I'm going through the
I
PowerPoint,
was
but I
looking.
can.
I didn't
Okay.
see anything.
You want me to stop sharing or keep it up?
Whatever you want, Jonathan.
I'll stop sharing for now, and then I'll share if I get something.
All right.
All right. Creation and money.
That's because you're afraid of her. Well, fine then.
I don't know what I'm doing. I got the nails.
Okay. I think I'm starting to get something.
Man, I can't figure it out. And the
Okay.
hamsters are going
So if they're
full.
loaning 10 million TASs, how much of that goes into reserves?
So did you do a T chart for those?
A T-chart for what?
For those? For the numbers?
You mean a balance sheet, an accounting
Yeah.
T-chart thing?
Yep.
I have not. I don't think I need to do that though, because I'm not. No, I haven't. I don't think it's required though, because that's accounting class.
Okay. There is this formula. Money supply equals money multiplier times bank reserves.
What's the money? Well, we got the percentage that's being kept in reserves, which means we can find out what the money multiplier is. So how do we find the money multiplier?
Do you have the money supply?
What do you mean money supply? You mean like all of it?
Uh-huh.
Yes.
Okay, then all of that amount equals money multiplier times the bank reserves. That's the equation. If we don't have the multiplier,
Okay.
then multiplier becomes X. And then we just do an algebra
Okay,
formula.
then I have the money Okay, I have the money multiplier then. That's a
Okay.
percentage that's kept in reserves.
Oh, is that what it is? Okay.
Well,
So
you said it's the amount kept in reserves times the money multiplier, correct?
that is correct. Let me go back to the formula.
Okay. So if
Money
that's the
supply
case,
equals money multiplier. Yes.
okay, hold on. I don't have the money multiplier. Never mind.
Okay. What's the money supply?
The money supply is 607.5 million.
600 and what? Sorry.
607.5.
Oh,
Or
607.5.
So
607.
if you rearrange that formula, though, you would, right? You would do money supply divided by bank reserves to find the money multiplier, wouldn't you?
Hold on.
money supply divided by bank reserves.
Well, the formula is money supply equals money multiplier times bank reserve. So if you're trying to find the money multiplier, you know the money supply is 607.5 million, and we know the bank reserves are 375 million.
Yes.
All right, on it.
But
You
I don't
divide
know if that would
6.
be just your 300 million or if it would be the excess too.
It would be
She's on my lap.
607.5 equals X times bank
She's
reserves.
cute.
So at the end, you
No.
do 607 divided by bank reserves equals to X. And that is the multiplier.
Okay, I'm confused by what you just said because I listened to one individual and then you start talking about doing math.
I do apologize. Sometimes I do that, which means half the time.
Okay, this is what I did. Is this correct?
So here's,
Yes.
Whoa.
Is that correct?
Mm-hmm.
All right, then this is the money multiplier.
That's what
1.6.
Amy was saying. Yes.
So do we just take 10 million and multiply that by 1.62? That was
Let's
weird.
try it and see what we get.
Now, what I was thinking is finding a formula, try the formula, and see if we can come up with one of the options.
Yep.
Okay, there's a problem here because I got 16.2.
right.
So either it's none of the above, which I doubt that's the case, or we're doing it wrong.
Right.
Okay, let's try another formula.
Okay, hold on. We need to figure out how much is being. We need to figure out how much of the 10 million is being put in reserves. Is that correct? Because I just took the entire 10, but not all of that's going to reserves. Only only 61.72% of it is going to reserves. Does that make sense?
Right. But then you need to see how much the money supply changes. So you need to add that to the reserves, right? No? I don't know.
So I need to figure out how much the reserves changes, and then I need to add that to the reserves, and then I add the money multiplier.
Okay.
Wait. Okay. Okay. So 10 million times that. Nope.
Demand deposit. I remember reading about this.
Oh, I see. All right. That's how much is added to. That is how much. All right. So.
Demand
But that doesn't look
deposit.
right either.
So problem 7 in the homework assignment might be the closest to it.
I didn't quite catch that.
Problem 7. So that's going to be at the end of the book.
Well, in the homework,
Oh.
homework assignment number 7.
This question doesn't give anything about. Seven 7,500 million tasses. Those are demand deposits. So that amount has to be in the bank at all times.
Wait, the 7,500 million TASs of deposits?
Uh-huh. That's what a demand deposit is.
You're saying that 7,500 million TASs in deposits means the bank has to hold on to that at all times.
That's what a demand deposit is.
What about the 300 million TASs of required reserves? Isn't that what they're required to have at all times? And isn't the deposits what they loan out to people?
I think they are. Yeah, this is one of those tricky things because the 300 million could be required, but since they have 7,500 million.
Where'd you get 500 million?
No, 7,500 million.
Oh, okay. I think that's them loaning money out to people because it says issued deposits. Let me check the book, see if I can find something.
Required reserves. Let me break it down.
Sorry.
I already have to be alone. Then you can be with Aaron. No, but like. Well, Aaron's probably not even
Okay. I think that we can ignore the 300 million tacits of required reserves.
Why?
Okay, which one is graded? 300 million or 7,500 million?
Wait, what?
Ah, no, never mind. I went dyslexic.
Oh no.
Hold on.
Hold on.
I think that we can ignore the 300 million as the required reserves because the banks have 7,500 million tacits of deposits.
Oh my goodness.
But what does that mean? Let me see.
Look, see, the thing is, we don't have a formula. Until we have a formula, we don't know what to ignore and what to use.
What to plug in?
Jonathan, you're right.
I'm just stressed. I got a lot of things
Okay.
I need to get done in no specific amount of time.
Alex, how did you come up with B?
Or did it just feel right?
It's because you told her it's always B.
Always be.
Right?
Always be.
It's always
B.
B.
Always be.
If in doubt, pick B.
If in doubt, you do pick B.
I think we should. I'm beginning to think we should. I don't know what else to do. Should we just end the meeting here, or?
My suggestion at this point, because I feel like we're spinning our wheels in the mud or the snow if you live in Idaho.
It's a nice analogy.
How about we end now and finish this on our own and then send emails later today or tonight?
Hey, that sounds good.
Yeah.
And then we can all go mudding.
Right.
Spin our tires around just a little more.
Yeah, because I just went with B because that's what Alex suggested, but I don't have a.
I'm taking the quiz right now, so I can tell you if it's right or not.
Oh,
Wait just a
hold
second.
on. I think that's cheating. I mean, it's okay that you're taking the quiz, but I don't think you're supposed to tell us if that's the right answer or not.
Well, that's the point of this. So, well, we're all going to be going mudding anyways, unless someone finds a different answer.
The results of the quiz aren't provided until after the quiz period has already passed, so we don't know which ones are the right answers until after Tuesday evening. So I don't think we're supposed. Well,
Yeah.
Yeah,
you can tell if you got a question wrong or not, but you can't tell what the answer is.
Yeah,
I think the reason for that is because they don't want people to be like, okay, hey, these questions I got wrong, so these answers are wrong, so everybody else, we need to figure out what's wrong. I don't think we're supposed to do that.
Well, that has to do with the honor code and being honest. I
think we just give it a shot, and if anyone else figures out how to do it, we can tell each other on Wednesday or something. I don't know.
Jonathan, what did you come up with the percentage for the required reserve?
Percent in reserve?
Yeah, wasn't that your 6?
Oh yeah, I need to screen share it. Hold on.
Is it 4%?
This is what I got.
Sorry, let me get back to that.
You might need to zoom in, but this is what I got. The highlighted box right here. And you can see how I did it in the top right corner.
So is that the percentage of reserves, or is that the money multiplier?
Yeah.
This is how much is required to be put in reserve. This is how much is in reserve, not necessarily required, but just how much is in reserve.
Okay, so if it tells you we have 7,500 million in deposits, 300 million is the required reserve. That's not 61% required, right? That's going to be more like.
It says the reserve requirement and the percentage of deposits held as excessive reserves stay the same.
Right. So I got 4% for my required reserve.
For required reserve?
Yeah. Because the required reserve is
300 million TASs is not 4% of 607 million TASs.
Okay, but I did it off of the 7,000 because it said they have issued 7,500 million TASs of deposits. So deposits is what you're doing your reserves off of, correct?
Yes, because it is a demand deposit, it has to be there.
Is that right, John? I mean, right? Isn't that what we're doing the reserve off of, right?
I took what's already in reserves, 300 million TASs of required reserves and 75 million TASs of excess reserves. I just took that, divided it by the total money supply, and I got the percentage in reserves.
Okay, but
because that's what collectively the banks are holding on to that as reserves. That's all the money that's just sitting there.
Your reserve off of your reserve is coming from your 7,500, isn't it?
No, I didn't include that in reserves. Because apparently the banks are using that for something.
But that's the deposits, right? So that's what. Right. Your reserves is 300, but the percentage.
It's 375.
Well, 375 is the reserves, but 300 is the required reserve. So they're requiring 4% of the 7,500 million deposits, right?
4% of 7,500 million is not 300 million.
Mm.
Not even 100% of 7,500 million is 300 million.
Okay, so 40%? No. What is it then? 300 million of 7.
It's past 100%. It's like I have to do math in my head now. I don't know, but like that.
So I took 300 divided by 7,500 and I got 0.04. So that's 4% is the required reserves, correct?
But that doesn't make any sense because there's a lot more money out there. Plus, 4% of 7,500 million does not equal 300 million because 7,500 is a smaller number than 300 million. How do I explain this?
Well, guys, I think I'm gonna go because I got a tutoring session I'm supposed to go to here in like 10 minutes.
Okay.
Yeah, let's study. Let's continue on our own, and then once we figure it out, let's just shoot an email.